G'day geeks, my name is Chris, and in this video we are talking about the modular monstrosity, Modulok. So this is relatively new. This is a modular figure of the Evil Horde from the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe motuorigins line, which is a throwback to the vintage figure. It comes apart, you can make all these different creatures. It's a lot of fun. So let's open our Modulok here and see what he's all about. So this is Modulok. So the original figure was released in 1985, I think, and had 22 different parts. I had that figure as a kid. Very easy to lose track of pieces, but basically you can make, for one creature, you can make all different smaller variations of the same creature. So this update just released has 34 different parts, and originally just available from Big Bad Toy Store in America. Online, which is where I got this, but thankfully also now a few months later available on Amazon here in Australia, and it's about like $50 generally, so not a bad price for, you know, deluxe packaging, a rare figure, and pretty awesome update of the original. You'll see the lovely packaging from the Masters of the Universe, which is always the one of the main draws of these figures, and you'll see the 40th anniversary holofoil on the right corner there. That's from the Princess of Power, so She-Ra, Princess of Power. It's her 40th anniversary, He-Man's sister. 40th anniversary of this cartoon, and Modulok was a part of the Evil Horde, who were the main baddies who would fight She-Ra. So yeah, the side, we've got obviously some different variations of Modulok, all the different combinations you can get him in. Some wonderful packaging. We've got some of the rock warriors, the stone warriors. We've got Bo here. Bo was one of my favourites, companion and fellow fighter on the good side of She-Ra. And we've got some relatively new creatures there as well, all over the place. And we've got, I think that's She-Ra, and we've got a Horde Trooper as well, which I looked at as a recent video. And this kind of tells you how you can get Modulok into all those crazy different variations. So yes, pretty cool. On the side we've got more variations as well of the wonderful red beast Modulok, and just his name on the side with the classic font. And you'll notice that this is kind of raised as well, and so is some of this, so it's got that extra shine to it. It really stands out against the background. So Mattel, as always, go all out on their packaging. But let's have a look at Modulok and all his 34 different bits and bobs. You don't get a mini comic with Modulok, unfortunately, but you do get what you traditionally get with all the Origins figures, which is one of these little pamphlets which shows you all the bits that are detachable. You get the little tool which is used for removing all these, and a little tip about how to do that, because you certainly don't want to break your Modulok. You've got the lovely cardboard packaging, the yellows and reds and the rocks, and the side of the packaging has a nice little touch as well, where you've got just shows you all the different variations. So both sides of the package show the same thing, so even the side flaps show that, which is a nice touch. Anyway, so there's all the lovely cardboard and paper bits and pieces. And behind this cardboard we have the Modulok of the Hour. So yes, as you can see, the main body in the middle there with the two heads, the weapons, and all the different legs and arms and kind of torso extenders. A lot more posable with extra joints than the original figure had, and then you've got all these little connectors to make him even more of a monstrous Modulok. Here's Modulok out of the package, and as you can see, he comes with a bunch of stuff. So different legs and torso things, and more legs, and some more arms, and yeah, obviously bits and pieces to give him different looks. He comes with his gun as well, which is very similar to the vintage one, which was basically a double gun which would fit together like that. So he can hold that in either hand, or when he's two different creatures, he can hold two separate guns, and they kind of work by themselves. even though they don't have triggers, but that's okay. And it also comes with this thing which you can hold as a shield. So this is new for the figure. The vintage figure didn't have this. Not much of an effective shield, I guess, but he is a somewhat of a thinner body, and it's also used as a bit of a tool to make removing some of the connectors a bit easier. So yes, I'm going to give this a bit of a play and actually see if I can get him into some different configurations. The vintage figure was a lot simpler. Obviously it had a fewer options and much less posability, but all these connectors do prove a bit tricky. You kind of need to know which ones go with where, and it's a bit of just basically trial and error, because you've got the shorter ones and the longer ones, and they go into different holes, different ports on the body. And his hands, like the clawed hands, can't hold the gun. Like they basically just don't flick, don't fit in between the little claws. But that's okay. He can hold the shield. And yeah, so you could definitely have fun trying all the different poses on the as shown in the box, but it will take you some time and it may be a bit frustrating. And I will also say with the shield slash remover, I've flicked some of the connector pieces across my toy room. They're going flicking all over the place because you do have to use a bit of force. So I think my Modulok certificate in constructing and deconstructing isn't quite up to speed yet. I'm still a beginner. I'm not quite an advanced Modulok user, but he is fun. And as I said, it is a lot of fun to kind of put it all together and make different characters and different creatures. And he still comes with the very traditional Origins posability that we know and love from the last few years. So obviously, with all the knee and elbow swivel, so and the head and the neck and all that. So yeah, very adaptable and very posable as a figure, Modulok. And yeah, certainly comes with so many pieces with all the wonderful colours, and this darker purple, black, grey kind of colour which the original figure came with as well, and the lovely two heads which are pretty much spot on with what the vintage figure came with. And you can certainly get enough looks with all the different textures and all that kind of stuff. So the greens and the whites and the purples and that lovely red. So it's pretty cool that they give you this tool. So this tool is pretty useful in removing the little extra hinges and kind of swivel pieces there. So just whack that in and out it comes. Just makes it a lot easier than kind of fiddling with your fingers and stuff. So a very nice touch indeed. It certainly does become easier once you realize which of the connectors goes with which hole. So these ones go in the smaller kind of star shaped ones, and these go in the larger holes. But yeah, you'll figure it out pretty quickly, and that makes trying to connect all these a lot easier. Obviously you can get Modulok into all manner of different weird monstrosities, and it kind of reminds me of the Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing horror movie. But obviously if you put him in something like this, he's not going to be able to stand. But it's pretty freaky nonetheless. And I've just thrown a couple of his Horde buddies in the background, the Horde Trooper and Leech, just so you can get a sense of scale. So obviously depending on what kind of connectors you give him, he does fit right in.